Max Verstappen 2026 F1 future, will he stay at Red Bull or join Mercedes? Formula One champion Max Verstappen stands at a career crossroads that could reshape the entire sport, and his inner circle reveals he's laser-focused on one non-negotiable goal for 2026. The Dutch racing phenomenon, still widely regarded as the fastest driver in F1 today, faces a pivotal decision about his racing future in the coming weeks. But here's where it gets controversial. Despite his historic run of 4 consecutive world titles, Verstappen now finds himself in an unthinkable position where even his extraordinary talent might not overcome his car's limitations. Red Bull Racing, Verstappen's longtime team, has shockingly failed to deliver a machine capable of consistently battling McLaren this season. This performance gap has raised serious questions about whether the 27-year-old will honor his contract extending through 2028. However, and this is the part most people miss, Verstappen holds a critical escape clause that leaves Red Bull in a precarious position. Without him, the team would currently be languishing at the bottom of the Constructors' Championship standings. Now, the rumor mill is swirling with potential moves. Mercedes emerges as a likely suitor, creating an intriguing driver dilemma for the Silver Arrows. Meanwhile, Aston Martin would reportedly open their vault to secure Verstappen's services. But here's the crucial insight from those closest to him: financial incentives alone won't sway Verstappen. His ambition centers on reclaiming dominance, not padding his bank account. After Red Bull's dramatic dismissal of team principal Christian Horner following the British Grand Prix, Verstappen's camp openly warned that his exit remains possible. Yet Spanish outlet Marca reports a fascinating twist. Verstappen's inner circle insists his primary desire is to return to the top with Red Bull. They clarify that Horner's departure hasn't altered Verstappen's thinking. The real conflict involved Horner's fractured relationship with Red Bull's Austrian leadership, not Verstappen personally. Horner ultimately lost crucial backing from Red Bull's Thai stakeholders, sealing his fate. The next races could prove decisive. Helmut Marko, Red Bull's motorsport advisor, has issued a stark disaster warning ahead of the Belgian Grand Prix, acknowledging these events might sway Verstappen's choice. Red Bull plans minor car upgrades for Spa, but their impact remains uncertain. This brings us to a critical sticking point. Verstappen reportedly lacks confidence in technical director Pierre Wach's department since legendary designer Adrian Newey's exit last year, a development crisis that stalled their progress. As Verstappen likely uses the summer break to weigh his future, one burning question emerges: should the sport's reigning king prioritize loyalty to Red Bull, or seize control of his destiny elsewhere? What would you do in his position? Share your take in the comments. Max Verstappen's future: what should he do for F1 2026? In the midst of the Red Bull turmoil, what path should Max Verstappen chart for Formula One in 2026? This question has been a hot topic of debate lately, especially following the abrupt departure of Christian Horner as the team's boss. But here's where it gets controversial: will Max decide to stay with Red Bull, or will he seek greener pastures elsewhere? Rumors suggest that Mercedes, along with a potential return to Aston Martin with Adrian Newey and Honda, could be on the horizon for the 4-time world champion. After Horner's dismissal, Verstappen's future plans add another layer of complexity. Our expert writers weigh in on what they believe is the best course of action for Verstappen heading into 2026. Mark Manbryans believes Verstappen should remain with Red Bull for now. The upcoming rule changes in 2026 mean that no one truly knows how each team will perform until the first test sessions. Historically, many world champions have made costly mistakes by moving to less competitive teams, only to be stuck in contracts that hinder their ability to compete at the highest level. Verstappen has clauses in his contract that could allow him to leave if necessary. Staying with Red Bull gives him the flexibility to assess the competition and make an informed decision for 2027. Switching to Mercedes or betting on a quick turnaround at Aston Martin might lead to disappointment if those teams fail to deliver. Ronald Vording offers a different perspective, suggesting that Mercedes could be a safer option for Verstappen if he's willing to give up the 2026 season. With Horner gone and Marko still leading the team, the current environment might be appealing to the Verstappens. However, if Verstappen prioritizes performance over personal loyalty, jumping ship before 2026 could make sense. The uncertainty surrounding Mercedes' new engine project means that Verstappen might face similar challenges as he did with Red Bull. Stuart Codling argues that Verstappen should bide his time and evaluate the situation in 2027. Given his age and talent, he has plenty of opportunities ahead. Moving now would mean taking a risk with an uncertain future. Waiting until next year allows him to gather more information and make a more informed decision. Additionally, staying with Red Bull provides Verstappen with a stable environment and the chance to prove himself once more. Philip Clearan emphasizes the importance of performance in Verstappen's decision-making process. If Red Bull can deliver a competitive car, there's no reason for Verstappen to leave. However, with recent setbacks and high-profile departures, the team's future is uncertain. Verstappen's performance clauses offer him a safety net if needed, but joining Mercedes could lock him into a long-term contract if the team fails to perform. Patience is key, and waiting to see how the new regulations play out could be the smartest move. Ultimately, the decision comes down to Verstappen's priorities. Should he prioritize loyalty to Red Bull, or focus on securing the best possible performance for the future? As the new regulations loom, only time will tell which path he chooses. Max Verstappen leaving Red Bull, the best move for both parties. F1 2025 analysis. Could Max Verstappen's departure from Red Bull be the silver lining they desperately need? The will he, won't he saga of Max Verstappen potentially leaving Red Bull has become the hottest topic in the Formula One community as we approach the end of the 2025 season. The reigning champion, once a beacon of hope, now finds himself in the midst of a tumultuous relationship with his team. Mercedes, ever the opportunists, are making their move, sensing an opportunity to lure Verstappen away from Red Bull as they struggle through a surprising downturn in performance. From the glory days of dominating 35 out of 43 races, between the 2022 French and 2024 Spanish Grand Prix, Red Bull has seen a dramatic drop in form. Verstappen, the genius driver, has managed to secure 4 wins from the last 26 races, stretching back to Austria 2024. But here's where it gets controversial. While Verstappen's individual brilliance has kept Red Bull in the hunt, the team's second car has been a ghost ship. His teammates have scored a paltry 41 points compared to his 347 since the 2024 British Grand Prix. That's a staggering disparity. If we were to remove Verstappen's 165 points from Red Bull's total this season, they would plummet to the bottom of the constructors' standings. This has led to a shakeup in leadership, with Christian Horner being unexpectedly ousted in July. Now, Laurent Mekies faces the monumental task of turning Red Bull's fortunes around. But will Verstappen be part of this new chapter? The question arises, would a clean break and reset be beneficial for Red Bull? Could they create a car that's slower but more user-friendly for both drivers? Perhaps a car that's not tailored to just one genius, but designed to bring out the best in everyone. And this is the part most people miss. The potential benefits of Verstappen leaving could extend beyond Red Bull. It could be the catalyst for a new era in F1, where teams focus on building cars that empower all drivers, not just one. What do you think? Is Verstappen's departure a risk or an opportunity? Share your thoughts in the poll and comments below. Let's spark a conversation about the future of Formula One.